difference, dumbass, between behaviorism and neo-behaviorism, dumbass.
Dude, that behaviorism is fucking dumb. Like, that's why we had a cognitive revolution in the 50s, dude. They showed this experimentally that we can't account for learning through just inputs.
That is not what happened.
You're
such a moron. You bought into the Noam Chomsky bullshit that happened about verbal behavior, which, by the way, was a book that he didn't even read.
That's not the own reputation.
He's actually a laughing stock because of that. And by the way, behaviorism is coming back. Has come back.
You're an idiot.
Okay, well, show me where I'm wrong.
Dio, do you need to take a nap? Is that what's going on here? When was the last time
he says that neo-behaviorism does not take into account mental states. He's absolutely wrong.
I didn't even mention.
Yeah, you did say that, dumbass.
That fucking behaviorism.
You did say that, dumbass.
Why are you so fucking upset, dude?
Because you're a dumbass.
Dio, at this point, I would rather listen to Coy bullshit out of his ass than listen to you tell me all the secrets of the universe.
Well, I mean, dumbasses do like each other.
Look, there was an experiment in the 50s that had to do with rats. It was called Tolman's maze, and they showed that rats are using what are called cognitive maps to account for their ability to navigate their way towards food. And so that was one major refutation of behaviorism.
Behaviorism takes into account mental states. How many times do I have to tell you?
Fucking doesn't, dude. That's the whole paradigm. That's the whole fucking paradigm.
Behaviorism. You're talking about John Watson behaviorism. You're not talking about neo-behaviorism, right?
Okay, so what's neo-behaviorism?
You don't even know the difference.
Tell me what the difference is.
What one? Neo-behaviorism takes and accounts for mental states, dumbass.
Okay. So in other words, it's not behaviorism. It's there's cognition involved, so that's not.
So all the time that Dio has been calling it behaviorism, what he meant was neo-behaviorism.
Yeah.
So it's just another example of Dio not being clear, but thinking in his head that he was being clear.
How is I not being clear?
JJ criticized
because you've
been
continually saying behaviorism when what you really meant was neo-behaviorism.
I said neo-behaviorism like 1,000 times. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, it was nowhere near 1,000 times. And you just mentioned it now.
No,
I haven't. When you were called out on your use of the word behaviorism.
No, he was very clear on the distinction, JJ. Like, if you were paying attention, you would have.
Yeah, JJ just had a stroke again. Another one.
Yeah, Ben has been listening, and he says I'm correct.
Oh, whatever.
The White Knight rides again.
Degrees.
I kept telling him. I could tell him the distinction between the two, and he wouldn't shut up. That's the whole point of me jumping into the conversation, dumbasses.
His dumb ass just started saying, "I know what I'm talking about." When you were trying to explain,
I kept saying there's a difference between traditional behaviorism, John Watson behaviorism, and neo-behaviorism, where neo-behaviorism does take into account mental states, whereas traditional behaviorism doesn't. Dumbasses.
Yeah, but you weren't being clear about that before.
I said it was 5 times.
No, do you have a source for that?
Only recently, though.
I said
only recently. Yes, only recently though, but it wasn't right. But it wasn't before. Before you were challenged on it, you weren't being clear.
I said it 5 fucking times, dumbasses.
You're still wrong.
Only recently.
New behaviorism is associated with Skinner, who was a radical behaviorist, right? He definitely didn't take into account mental states.
No, his whole thing was that in his point, he doesn't deny.
Dumbass on you. Was
Really?
Yeah, Dio, you're cutting out us.
They did no. The neo-behaviorism.
Nice meme.
Neo-behaviorism.
Thank you, Ludic. That was good.
Neo-behaviorism's objective was that you can't like know what the patient's thinking, and it's not reliably scientific, right? They don't deny it outright like the traditional behaviorists did, right? They just said there's no way that we can measure these things. That's all they said. They said they tried to make it as empirical as possible, and that's why they stuck to what could be seen, what could be empirically seen and observed and taken account for. Man, I swear, all these people who like think that like behaviors have been overturned, no, it hasn't. You guys are talking about traditional behaviorism. And Noam Chomsky, by the way, didn't even know what the fuck he was talking about. Like, he looks like a fool now. And they've actually had recent interviews with Noam Chomsky, and he looks like an absolute douchebag. His criticism of Skinner's verbal behavior, he didn't even read the book. I actually have an interview.
You're just wrong, dude. You're just flat out fucking wrong, like, about everything. It's crazy.
Fucking book.
Chomsky has not been refuted. He ushered in the cognitive revolution, by the way, which still stands, and we're still in it. And cognitive psychology has taken over because behaviorism was insufficient.
It hasn't taken over, dude. What are you talking about?
It has, dude. Look at the link I just fucking posted. Like, new behaviorism was associated with Skinner, which was from 1930 to 1960. That shit is over, dude. You're fucking just wrong. Shut the fuck up.
No, you're okay, dude. You're telling me they don't use behaviorism now all the time. You're telling me that like, they just stopped using behaviorism. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's insufficient. They showed that you had to include mental states in order to explain his behavior.
They use behaviorism all the time. Whenever you go,
look.
Whenever you go to the store, motherfucker, when you go to the store, right, and then you have the rewards card, that's fucking behaviorism, dumbass. When you go to the casino, they're using behaviorism, dumbass.
You don't know what I'm saying. They're not saying that. Shut the fuck up for a second, dude. They're not saying that classical condition.
You shouldn't even be allowed to talk because you're so
fucking. Oh my god, you're just talking right now, dude.
You're so dumb. You shouldn't even be allowed the fucking mic.
It's been look the thesis of behavior. Oh my god, are you just gonna talk every time I fucking talk?
You're not dumb. I mean, sorry, you're not smart. You're dumb.
Dio, you sound retarded. You gotta let other people talk.
That's where it's coming from, JonJon.
The thesis of behaviorism was that behavior could be fully accounted for with classical and operant conditioning. That was proven to be wrong. That doesn't mean that classical and operant conditioning are false. It means that they had to add something on top of it in order to explain the rest of behavior. And they showed it was insufficient. That's all I said, right? So they needed to involve mental states.
That's not what you said.
That is what I fucking said. Well, maybe because you weren't listening. You were too busy talking.
No, that's not what you said. No, I interrupted you because you said something dumb.
That's what I. What are you talking about, dude? Do I need to repeat myself now because you don't understand?
Yeah, repeat yourself, Clark.
I'll repeat myself so you understand. The thesis
so you're saying behaviorism doesn't take into account mental state. Is that the hill you're going to die on? I can if I show you that that's wrong, are you going to apologize?
No, I'm not apologizing to you.
Okay, so you want
post a fucking link then, dude. I just posted a link, right? I actually did some work and posted a link, and it showed that it's associated with a radical behaviorist. They don't take into account. Just post a link, please. I want to read this.
Hey, come on.
Are you there, Kathleen?
I am. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm making some fresh coffee. It's delicious.
You guys know that, like Looney Tunes, you know how like there's that pig at the end during the credits and he stutters a little bit?
Yeah, very much like Dio. Is that what you're pointing out?
Yes.
Yeah, we know.
So I'm not the only one who's.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah, it's so funny. Whenever he gets upset, like you could barely understand what he's saying. He sounds just like that pig.
What's the pig's name actually?
Porky.
Wow. Okay.
It's Porky the pig.
Haram the pig.
It's actually really funny.
Yes. All pigs are haram.
All pigs. I could use a nice cup of fresh made coffee right now.
I also could use some.
You should make some, or make your wife make some. I could use a tea
kettle because I have no way of making boiling water right now.
You could
since Kathleen is the woman.
No, I don't
relationship. It would be Kathleen that would make the coffee.
You sure you don't need a good shot of testosterone?
JonJon, you're such a faggot. Like, why do you come here? You're such a
triggered.
No, you're such a faggot. No, I'm not.
Go get Simone to serenade you.
Why are you such
a good little girl, Kathleen? Go get some coffee.
You're such a faggot.
You're a child. You're just a child stuck in a man's body.
A quick injection.
You got me.
Some
You're such a
hot steaming testosterone.
Yeah, you're the biggest loser that comes on Discord, Dio.
Oh my
what
God,
are you doing?
you got me. You got me.
A protein injection.
What are you gonna do today, Dio?
Well, apparently,
Besides White
JJ,
Knight for White Nationalist.
I'm actually picking up
Kathleen
right now.
takes estrogen, and it cured Kathleen of his depression.
Oh shit.
Your point?
You're a low T beta.
Oh my God, you got me.
Actually, I
wasn't talking
Well,
about
I
Dio.
would
Dio's
say-
so triggered.
I guess what I would say is that has nothing to do with your being a transgender.
It has nothing
Wait,
to do
what
with
happened?
Your depression. You're equating your depression with thinking that you're a woman, when reality is against that.
Yeah, I really don't know what point you're trying to make right now, Bacon, other than just once again proving that you're obsessed with me.
I think he's trying to tell you that you're denying the law of identity.
Yeah.
What
Exactly.
law of identity? What law might that be, sir?
Well, what does estrogen have to do with you supposing that you're a woman when your DNA says you're not? You say, well, I was depressed in the past and I wanted to kill myself, so I took estrogen and I feel better. But what does that have to do with you wearing dresses?
Oh, fuck.
What does it matter whether I wear dresses or not? I don't.
Yeah, that just seems like a non sequitur.
Yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just a point of the matter that you're taking on the traditional female role, but you're equating that with your depression and estrogen, which I don't think they have anything to do with each other.
Hey, Corey, dumbass. I'm gonna put the link in
I
the.
just really don't think you understand transgenderism, Bacon, which is fine. And I don't think
I understand that the transgender claims are claims that do not correlate with
JonJon,
reality.
shut up, faggot.
And you know what
Shut up,
happens?
faggot. JonJon, shut up. You're a
Dio,
faggot.
you haven't added anything
Well,
to any
wait a
You're a
minute.
faggot. Shut up.
Wait. We need to get to the heart of Kathleen's
JonJon,
problem.
you're a
Okay?
faggot. I want to hear you.
You know what
You're a faggot.
happens whenever
JonJon.
somebody has a belief or ideology that
JonJon,
doesn't
you're a
correlate
faggot.
with
Nobody cares.
reality?
JonJon, you're a faggot. Nobody
All
cares.
those people delusional.
JonJon, you're a faggot. Nobody cares.
Dio's doing a good job at showing us how mature he is.
JonJon,
We
you're
got
a
real
faggot.
alpha on our
Now,
hands.
JonJon, you're a
what
faggot.
I'm
Nobody
going to
cares.
do is I'm
This
going to ask
self-proclaimed alpha is triggered as
Kathleen
fuck by me.
You're a faggot.
a really tough
Nobody cares.
question.
Yeah, I heard you say faggot 3 times.
All right,
You're like a
nobody
broken
cares.
record.
So stop
You're
talking.
worse than a child.
Stop talking.
No wonder Simone doesn't want to fuck you anymore.
I'm like, you're
You're
getting me.
just a kid.
That
You're
one
a
really.
kid, Dio.
That one really hurt.
You're a 40-year-old
That one really got me.
JonJon, haven't you not gotten laid in a while, and you made a point of that, saying that you couldn't get laid ever since something happened?
That's not what we're talking. What is me getting laid?
Well,
have to do with
I'm
40-year-old
talking about
child?
it right now, so I guess we are talking about it.
You're such a faggot.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah, how can you call yourself a man,
That's
JonJon,
all
if you haven't
say.
been
You
laid?
just keep repeating
I'm
yourself.
just-
You keep saying, "Oh my God, you're such a faggot."
How much of a
All you
faggot
do is
you are.
spend your time online
You're just
projecting
such
onto
a
everyone
faggot.
else.
You're
Oh,
just
poor
such a
white people.
faggot.
All the Jews.
You're
Fuck
just
the
such
niggers.
a faggot.
You're just a prime example of a lowlife, right?
God, you're a faggot.
I mean, that's why your ex-girlfriend is taking care of you, because you're an alpha male, air quotes, right?
What a fucking faggot.
Your ex-girlfriend is literally your fucking mom now. Like, just sit down, Dio.
You're like a
If
really.
you're lucky, she'll take you out to dinner tonight.
JonJon,
If
you're really penetrating. I mean, you're really.
It's just hilarious that this faggot comes in here and claims to be an
These
alpha
red
male
pills,
and talk shit about everyone else.
These red pills
His
are just.
fucking life is already over at 40 years old.
These red
Dio's
pills.
life is over.
The fucking red pills.
Layla just destroyed his pro gaming career just a few days ago. I mean, it's just been devastating on poor little Dio lately.
Oh my God.
I mean, Dio's just a fucking joke. This dude's a fucking drug addict. He abuses drugs for days on end. The dude stays up for like 3 days at a time, right? This dude's fucking batshit crazy.
He's so dumb. He took the bait. Now he's all wound
the
up.
entire time. You can't even understand the words coming out of his fucking mouth, right? He just talks over you the entire time with stuttering.
Dance, monkey. Dance.
It's fucking hilarious. And then he just repeats himself like a broken record. Hey, you're a faggot. Oh, you're such a faggot, dude.
You're a good monkey.
Dio's a fucking joke. He's the class clown. Everyone just makes fun of him in here.
You're my little monkey. I just wound you up. You're my little monkey.
I mean, there's been so many times.
Did JonJon just get canceled?
I just wound him up. So easy. He's my little monkey.
We use Dionysus for entertainment. We get him upset until he sounds like that pig where he's all.
Yeah, but Dio saying Dio's saying that he used you for entertainment, JonJon.
Yeah, I just used your dumb ass for entertainment. I just wound you up.
He's really entertained right now. He likes it whenever I remind him that he's a loser. Right?
Look, you're so
he
predictable.
loves that shit.
You're so predictable. I just wound your dumb ass up.
The guy who just says faggot over and over.
I just wound you up.
It's just the irony never stops.
You just took the bait.
What are you gonna do with the rest of your life, Dio? Your life is already over.
My
pro gaming career is in the gutter. That didn't go through.
You just took my dick like a whore.
You claim to be working for a law firm, which we all know you're lying.
Oh my God, you're so wound up.
I mean, why would you even feel it's necessary to lie to strangers on the internet? Are you that worried about what everyone else thinks about you, Dio?
Dance, monkey, dance. You just took my dick like a whore.
You have to ask yourself why it is people like Dionysus feel it's necessary to just come on here and lash out at everyone, right?
I'm not lashing out.
I mean, it's a personal problem.
Look, it's masochism.
Dionysus is batshit
It's called
crazy.
masochism, JonJon.
Kathleen, the men are talking. Sit down, be a good little girl.
I love having JonJon. This is fantastic.
Dio, nobody believes you whenever you say you're an alpha male. It's just clear that your life is over at 40.
Yeah, he's fucking triggered. He's so fucking triggered.
You stay up for days at a time. Like, nobody wants to be you. You're batshit crazy. Like,
what is an
alpha borderline insane?
Show your teeth, monkey.
Dio, the monkey's
coming.
up.
Repeat yourself. Yeah, like Dio just repeats himself. He just it's pathetic. It's really sad. I mean, look at what Tom has done to him. Look at what Justin's done to him.
Irony.
He loves this shit.
The irony.
JJ's right. This guy likes this shit.
Bro, like he can't even concentrate.
He's such a loser. He's so alone that any attention he likes it. Any attention, even the attention he's getting now.
The irony.
Like that's the level and magnitude of antisocial loser we're dealing with here. Even though he claims to be an alpha male.
The irony.
I think the fact that he claims to be an alpha male and has no problem admitting that his ex-girlfriend is his mom. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know about this guy.
So the irony of the situation.
Oh, poor white people. I mean, every day it's the same thing out of this faggot. Every day, like clockwork with Dio.
The best thing about crowism is all the personality disorders. I think I'm not alone there.
Mostly the antisocial ones.
Dio's just mad that nobody wants to be white anymore. It's just devastating.
You got me, John.
What's with the lack of empathy?
No, listen. You did it to yourself, Dio. You're a loser because of what you've done. It has nothing to do with me.
Who's a loser?
JJ, you really need to go see a psychiatrist and get on something, dude. As quickly as possible.
Me?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, JJ is twice as cool as you, Dio. JJ doesn't come in here spewing hatred all the time. Like it's clockwork.
No, I'm just here, like something.
Like I'm positive 9 times out of 10 people would rather hang out with JJ in real life than a fucking Nazi.
Can you just
unlearn alpha male Nazi at that?
10 times.
JJ.
I think it's more than 2 times, though, JonJon.
I mean, I'm not surprised that Simone hates this guy.
Tenfold. I'll accept nothing less than tenfold.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, I can only imagine how badly Simone wants Dio out of her life.
It's my badge. It's a badge of honor to be criticized by losers.
Can someone give me
imagine how shitty of a situation Simone's in, right? Simone can't do this guy. It's so sad.
Can someone give me a definition of what an alpha male is, according to this room?
Requires a dick size of at least 6.
You gotta be kidding me.
I'm asking
at
this.
You gotta have a pretty decent dick to ball ratio. which
I mean,
The
I
dick
guess
to
I
ball
understand
ratio.
that Kathleen doesn't get things because he's a woman, right?
yeah, Kathleen's dick to ball ratio is fucked up because of those
JonJon,
hormones.
why are you such a faggot?
That's actually maybe a very good irony.
You're such a
He's
faggot.
Is
We can just
Is the-
replace Dio with a bot at this point.
Kathleen is more of an alpha male than Dio. I mean, that's some supreme irony right there,
Seriously,
right?
JJ, go see a psychiatrist.
Oh my God, JJ, you're right. That's so fucked up to point out, though. Like he's
Yeah,
right.
no, I
He's
know.
completely right. Like
I mean,
an alpha
that's-
male is
that's-
somebody who
that's-
can send the dominance and social
JJ
hierarchy
has
the most
reached his
efficient way.
ultimate low.
That's the red suppository right there. That's the red
Yeah,
suppository.
this is yeah. JJ just red pilled the fuck out of Dio.
He's
We're
reached
gonna
his
have to
ultimate
expand on
low
this.
allying with JonJon. How low can
So
you go?
Kathleen, yeah, Dio's triggered. We might have to mute
It's-
Dio because he's not gonna let anyone talk.
I'm not gonna get
It's too big of a red pill to swallow, though.
So
Yeah,
the
so
reason I
basically, Kathleen is a father. Kathleen has a wife. Kathleen has his own place. He's not living with his ex-girlfriend. Kathleen,
And-
no doubt, has ascended to dominance and social hierarchies more efficiently than Dio ever will, right?
And Kathleen has a huge dick. Don't forget
Oh my
that
God,
part.
This is so funny. And yeah, so it seems like the self-proclaimed alpha male is actually a beta cuck.
So says the stroke victim in the Puerto Rican trash.
That's pretty true of you too, JonJon.
You don't say anything of substance. You just made fun of me for being Puerto Rican.
And having a
I mean,
stroke?
it's just
Puerto
obvious
Rican
you
trash.
spew
Yeah,
hatred.
you don't even have your front teeth, man.
Like
Like
this
Most people don't recover from strokes as well as I have.
your relatives hate you so much that they knocked out your front teeth because you're a loser.
I'm a super mutant.
No,
I don't care. I mean, look, if the fucking Trailer Park Trash and the stroke victim want to join teams, that's
you
fine.
say the same things, but no, like I said, nothing you say. There's no substance in any of it, Dio. You're just triggered.
Do you know what it takes to lead the life that I've led and look as good as I still do? That's.
Yeah, but I would rather.
I don't know how you can criticize that.
I wouldn't want your brain. I'll tell you that.
Come on.
I wouldn't want your brain.
Let's go.
I don't think you're smart enough to want my brain.
Both of you are fucking pathetic.
That's what it is. That's what it is. I'm sure everybody.
Quiet down, Tranny.
I'm sure everybody would agree with you on that too.
I think a lot of people would agree.
All right.
Let's make a poll. Wait, let's
JJ's
make a
JJ's man.
Let's
Does
make a
this mean
poll.
does this mean I'm superior to Dio then?
Yes, that's the point we've been making.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, you are more of an alpha male than Dio.
Just try to think about what it would take to motivate somebody to white knight, white nationalist, and do what Dio does on a daily basis. Like, what would motivate somebody to want to, to spew hatred towards every other race but the white race?
When have I spewed hatred?
Like, you could see that anytime.
What does that even mean? I hear SJWs and JonJon say that.
And see, here's the thing. Hey, one second, Kathleen. See, I am so masculine that I would wear miniskirts with you.
He's so masculine that he lives alone.
Because you are confident enough in your masculinity.
Yes. Right. I would wear your bra and panties. That's how masculine I am.
That's better than living with his ex-girlfriend, Dio. Come on. Are you that stupid?
So, okay, so.
It is much more manly to live on your own than to have your ex-girlfriend, adopt the archetype of the mother and take care of you.
So.
Like, how the fuck do you claim to be an alpha if that's the case?
Dio, have you ever been
Dio's
married?
just a joke.
I can't hear you. This idiot's talking. What's that? Kathleen?
Have you ever been married?
No, I've never been married.
So
no, Dio lives with his longtime ex-girlfriend.
He was married to an
Of
Adderall
years.
prescription for a while.
Yeah, he was married to the needle, married to the bottle, married to the pills. And now he's just married to delusion, apparently.
Yeah, like Dio's a prime example of somebody who just projects. Like their life
Paranoid
sucks,
delusion.
they've ruined their own lives.
Can someone explain to me how wearing a skirt would make you manlier?
Yeah.
It's the Jews' fault. Dio's a beta cuck, obviously.
So I don't
Well,
think I think the point of what JJ said was that he is so masculine that putting on a mini skirt would not have the effect on his masculinity.
Right.
All right. Now let's. Now
It
the
would
thing
not
that I
diminish
get
my
is whenever
masculinity.
there's like a micro thing, right? Like wearing a skirt and you're saying that like it wouldn't have an effect. Let's take that to an extreme of that, right? Something that would be seen as like fairly feminine, submissive, and see if it makes them manlier, right? Would getting fucked in the ass make you manlier?
Not necessarily, but it would not.
Okay,
it
well,
would
if
not
getting
necessarily.
fucked in-
Listen to me. It would not necessarily diminish one's masculinity.
Totally would. So if you're getting fucked in the ass and it doesn't make you manlier, then wearing a skirt subsequently does not make you manlier.
You're not paying attention. Listen closely, and try to follow. Okay, try to follow. I've not made any point of saying that something made somebody more masculine. The point was that doing these things would not diminish one's masculinity. Do you see the distinction? Are you able?
Right now on JJ.
Are you able to follow?
Come on, JJ. I think you're being a little.
I noticed that right away, JonJon.
Let's make a hypothetical. If you were in prison and you got fucked in the ass by someone, does that make you their bitch?
I have no concept of being in prison.
Yes, it would make you. It would make you their bitch for getting fucked in the ass. Likewise, if someone convinces you to wear a skirt and says it makes you manlier or it doesn't injure your masculinity, they just psychologically fucked you into wearing something that's very feminine.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I don't think that a skirt is feminine even. So
shut up, Tranny.
JJ never said that someone else would convince him to do so.
Yeah.
He would do so of his own accord.
Yeah, what I said was that I would wear a mini skirt with Kathleen, and it wouldn't diminish my masculinity.
JJ, do you honestly feel like you can get fucked in the ass and not feel like less of a man?
It takes a real man to get.
Like, let's be honest here. I'm not trying to get you in a gotcha moment.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't
have to do with him wearing a skirt.
I think that's true, though.
Hey, JonJon, you're such a faggot.
Yes, Sam. There's absolutely. I think there's absolutely nothing that could diminish my masculinity.
Oh God! It just approaches.
Oh man!
JJ has been fucking the ass, though, right? He gets his ass.
Let me ask a question. So, would you guys agree that what a male is supposed to do with his life is get educated, marry a woman, support his family, have children, support his children, take care of his children, take care of his wife's family? Like, he's the provider, right? That's what a male is supposed to do. Correct?
Like a provider protector role, kind of.
Provider
What
protector
a bunch of cucks.
And if
I don't necessarily agree that, like, I mean, I would say that the alpha male.
Dio, you fucking retard.
I would actually
Nazi
to say that the alpha male.
Christ, why is this idiot talking right now?
The alpha male doesn't have to work because the
Can
female.
I get Simone's number? I need to get a hold of Simone. This guy's a
alpha
fucking
male,
idiot.
The alpha male
needs
doesn't.
to behave
I'm
himself.
just gonna mute JonJon because
Where is
JonJon, what are you doing?
Where is Simone at when you need her?
JonJon, you're just obstructing, dude.
Yeah, you're just.
Simone does deserve better.
Fuck this guy.
So what I was gonna say is that
you too, Sam, you Muslim apologist.
You can make the argument.
Yeah. If I was there, there's no way that Simone would continue to be asexual.
The female works, right?
Yeah,
because
we need Simone. Simone is
the alpha tiger, for example, lion. The female lion go gets the food. The male lion doesn't work.
Well, I can't say that.
So I don't know where this idea that the alpha male is provider. I would say that the beta is the one that works. The alpha doesn't work. Because he has to say.
God, we're listening to beta and alpha advice from somebody who's a
he has to save his energy. He has to save his energy in case.
The irony is so strong here.
So I don't think the provider follows. I think protector follows, but not provider.
There's some truth to what you're saying, but
this idiot thinks he's an alpha male. Like, why would we listen to him?
Yeah, I don't know.
The question was
just fucking cringe.
What were you going to follow up with, Kathleen?
Well, so my question is, if someone does all those things and succeeds in all those things, we would say that they have done what they are supposed to do as a man, right?
No.
So if they've done the things that they're supposed to do as a man, would it be possible for them to say still fill all those roles, but not quite be normal in society's eyes? Like, for instance, me, right? Like, I fill all those roles. I provide for my family. My family wants for nothing. I take care of 2 different families with my income. I'm sending my daughter to college.
2 different families.
Well, I don't think that the beta alpha thing really applies in the human sense. I think this is more for animals that have a structure. Shut up, JJ. I think this is more for animals that have a structure where it's like there's one dominant male.
Jack is just walking back everything that he always
I didn't bring up the beta alpha thing.
I gave you guys a perfect
I didn't bring up the beta alpha thing at all. So
yeah, but JonJon,
I'm just saying,
both of you, no,
I'm just saying, shut up, JJ. I'm just saying. I don't think this really applies.
You're just saying.
Okay, all right, JJ, you're
not related.
Saying that I'm walking it back, right? You're saying that I'm walking it back. When did I ever bring up beta alpha?
JJ is a stroke victim.
It was other days. Maybe it wasn't today. It's irrelevant.
Well, it wasn't fucking
everything
today,
that you're
JJ.
saying.
So shut your mouth because
and
you don't have any evidence. Go bring the video where I brought up
is in fact
anything
merely
Until
a
then,
red
just
fucking herring. But what's more important is that, yes, Kathleen, we've established that you are an alpha male. You are very alpha.
Where there's not really a hierarchy system of one dominant male reproducing predominantly.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's not what the fuck we're talking about.
Kathleen, I don't think your daughter.
What an alpha male is, right? Somebody who can ascend the dominance and social hierarchies efficiently. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Stick to that definition.
Well,
and you
John,
guys will talk past each other
you
for an hour.
extended the hierarchy in Discord.
They have the ability to, right? Because JonJon, they already have the top of the hierarchy. And you're still going to call them alpha, even though they're not going to be able to ascend.
No, well, you got to pay attention, right? So
I
Kathleen
did pay attention, and I just asked a clarifying question.
Shut the
Showed
fuck
that your
up.
definition
You guys
doesn't
are
work.
talking over each other at this point.
You're a faggot.
You trying to talk over me?
Is that what Simone said?
You're a faggot, JonJon.
I don't think Simone agrees with you.
Listen, it can't be.
I mean, I think fucking your brother in the
person at the very
If
top.
Dio keeps acting up, I'm gonna tell Simone on him.
Yeah, that's fine. Technically, yes. JonJon is a faggot, but it's irrelevant. That's just a red herring. I don't know why you keep bringing that up.
Oh my God, JJ.
The feelings are extremely powerful with these fucking idiots.
I know.
So what is?
Don't let him put your faggotry down.
Wait, but you were.
Kathleen already acknowledges that he's suffering mentally. That's who he is, right? He acknowledges that he's transgender, but he also acknowledges that he's suffering mentally and that it's not normal for him to have these feelings.
Is there still suffering?
Well, with that being said, the problem
I thought the suffering was over.
Well, listen, the point I'm trying to make here is he's failing, and I think most of the people in here are failing to separate femininity or the transgenderism aspect out of the social and dominance hierarchy aspect. So yes, I've always said that for transgender individuals, they're going to have a hard time ascending these social and dominance hierarchies, which leads to mental illnesses, which is a negative thing. We shouldn't do it. But whenever Kathleen is an exception, Kathleen has a wife, has kids. He's ascended the dominance and social hierarchies pretty effectively. So at this point, we can separate the transgenderism out of the concept of alpha male at this point because it hasn't affected him. Like him being transgender hasn't had a substantial effect on his ability to ascend the dominance and social hierarchies. Considering he's married, has a family, is what we would consider normal. So whenever we were making fun of Dio, explaining to Dio, because Dio says he's an alpha male, we were making fun of him because this transgender dude is actually more alpha than Dio is, because he has a family, because he has his own house, because he has, the whole 9 yards. So with that being said, if you guys can just stick to the definition of social and dominance hierarchies, the ability, if you have a strong ability to ascend these hierarchies, then you will qualify as an alpha male. If you could stick to this definition, you don't have to yell at each other for like an hour.
No, it was never necessary. You're exactly right, JonJon.
JonJon, you're a faggot.
I don't know why what that has to do with anything.
Dio's misbehaving.
Dio's just trying to lash out with nothing.
Wait, give Dio a chance to refute that. Let's.
Well, he did. I thought he did.
I don't know.
His reputation was you're a faggot.
I mean, I don't listen when JonJon speaks. He never says anything that's.
Dio has said faggot like 30 times since I've been on. I've been on for about 40 minutes now.
I've just never met in my life who's more worthless and who's more garbage than you are. I'm honest.
I understand. You're sad. I get it. You're a sad
garbage.
soul.
You're just pure fucking garbage. You're just pure garbage.
You're hurting. I know you're hurting, Dio. I get it.
JonJon is actually very talented as both a skater and an entertainer.
False.
What do you got, Dio?
Wait, Dio, what would you say to
that? That reminds me. Molly's camera came in the mail today. It's really cool. We're gonna try to
Oh shit!
I was pretty hyped.
Good.
Dio, what would you say to?
All right, now go through the photos and see if she sent you tit pics.
I mean, I think the whole alpha male stuff is not a coherent concept.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. When I turn the camera on,
I agree,
it's
Dio.
gonna be like one nude. I could get to see like a picture of Molly's tits or something on there, but
that would have been funny.
If we're going to traditionally say that an alpha male is a fighter, I mean, how do you explain like with lions, where the female does all the hunting and the male just bases? How do you account for that?
Shut the fuck up, Dio.
We're not talking about fucking lions, Dio. Pay the fuck attention.
So obviously JayJay has a stroke, right? He can't get.
Fuck that Dio out of the mental house.
Jesus Christ.
That's the reason why I think.
Yeah, I had a stroke, and I can follow the conversation. You want to talk about lions when we're talking about humans?
Joker, that's why.
Who's got the mental problem?
That's the reason why I think it's an
incoherent. Synthetic a priori.
I think that's the reason why I think it's an incoherent concept, because it doesn't follow. Like
I don't think we should.
Doesn't follow that you're an alpha male, considering your position, Dio. But you still.
I don't think we should.
Wait, John.
I don't think we should talk about things like lions where there is a dominance hierarchy, right? We should probably stick with other social animals like bonobos or something.
That's the whole point, though, right? To show you the inconsistencies, right? In one situation. Why do we traditionally believe
there's an inconsistent manifestation of a behavior in one animal to another? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm simply saying that we can look at animals and we see roles switch, and not only do we see roles switch, we also see roles switch with humans.
Wow.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't
make a whole lot of sense, but
Wait.
he is an alpha.
Wait, Dio. Dio, before we start with this line of reasoning, right? You would concede what you said earlier, that you don't you object to JonJon's argument because it comes from him. Obviously, that's a genetic fallacy, right? So now when we
No, I just said I didn't pay attention to what he has to say because he never said anything that's really any good of it, so I don't really.
Shut the
That's
fuck
what
up
you
while
said.
Joker's talking, faggot. Jesus.
What were you saying again, Joker?
Yeah, what were you saying before this guy interrupted you?
What?
Yeah, I interrupt people just to ask them what they were saying.
Oh, fuck.
It's fucking hilarious.
It's cringe as fuck.
Joker.
JayJay, I don't know how
You
you
wanna
can
continue?
take that definition of alpha. The person
Which
at
one?
the top cannot ascend. So, he's not an alpha?
Who?
The person at the top of the hierarchy.
Cannot ascend.
No,
Not ascend.
you're looking at it wrong, right?
How is he an alpha?
Like there's not some scoring
But
system.
how is he not an alpha? He's at the fucking top.
Oh fuck.
I'm maybe I'm not following. Yeah, the alpha. If the alpha is at the top, the alpha cannot ascend. They've achieved the pinnacle. That's where the alpha sits.
How do we know they achieved it? Maybe they happened to begin there. He didn't ascend ever.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Or he has the ability to, but he doesn't happen to ascend.
Doesn't
now he's
have
not
to
an alpha?
ascend. Yeah, well, no. If the alpha starts at the top, they don't need to ascend. They
So
reach the
how can we
pinnacle.
say that an alpha is someone who has the ability to ascend?
Obviously,
I don't think that's necessary. I think it's just a matter of.
Would you really say like Donald Trump is alpha, or would you say that there's obviously? Okay, let me finish. Would you say that there's obviously better people, smarter people, more charismatic, more elegant people than Donald Trump that just chose not to run for president, right? You probably would agree with that. But you wouldn't declare they were not alpha. They just like what Ben said. They just chose not to. They didn't want to get involved.
I mean, actually, I guess Donald Trump is an alpha. That's true.
Yeah, but you would agree that there's more alphas out there that probably didn't decide to run or didn't want to deal with that shit, right?
Well, yeah, there's not only one alpha; it's a type.
Big misunderstanding.
But Jared Kushner is definitely not an alpha. He's a beta orbiter.
I think there's a misunderstanding. It doesn't necessarily have to do with money. Like you can make 30 grand a year, 20 grand a year.
Of course not.
It's just and you could still be considered an alpha male, right?
So this is not to say though.
Looking guy, and you can
let me just finish.
Sex with anyone you want.
JonJon, you're never gonna.
Let me just finish let me just finish what I was saying though. As I just want to make sure that I'm not saying that Jared Kushner could not ascend to alpha, but for the moment he's a beta orbiter. If anybody knows who the fuck Jared Kushner is.
That's Donald Trump's son-in-law.
Yes. It's what's her fucking name? Ivanka? Ivanka's husband. How the fuck is he Ivanka's husband? That just bewilders me. They have a child together.
He's Jewish.
I mean, maybe
he's
worth billions of dollars.
I get. Is it billions? Is he that? Okay.
It's billions.
Okay. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, when you whip out the financial cock, I mean, like, everything else just kind of falls to the wayside.
But Ivanka is the alpha.
If I remember correctly, not the latest claimed gas attack, but the one before that, around the same time last year, she went crying to her dad, and she's like, "Daddy, Assad gassed all these people. You got to do something."
I cringe every time I hear the story. I mean, I don't believe it. But
What happened?
You're such a faggot.
Black, don't we have some unfinished business?